Just a reminder, you can watch full episodes on my app or join me at joycemeyer.org. I'll see you soon.
We really don't want God to forgive us the way we forgive other people.
Even just sitting here listening to it, I'm going like,
Yeah.
really?
You want to take it back? Right? Why did I say
I've been
that?
teaching that for years, but it's just like, wow. I mean, if that's really true, and we know it is because it's the Bible, we better change the way we do things a little bit.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me rethink how I've handled so many different situations because I thought I have forgiven, but do my actions afterwards, is that how God is forgiving me? Probably not. So
Like, I forgive a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I get mad again and I take it back. And then maybe I'll take another step forward, a little bit of forgiveness. Then I'll get hurt a little bit more. And I'll stay mad for a while and not talk to you. I don't want God doing that with me. You
throw
know?
some guilt in there every few days.
Exactly,
and-
right? Any little jab I can get in or something I can say to somebody else that maybe makes them mad at them too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't want God
Good.
treating me that way. Ouch.
If we just sat and thought about what we just heard for about an hour, it's like, puts a little bit of the reverential fear of God in you.
does,
It's like, this is really, really something that's important. And like you said earlier, everybody's faced with this. I was thinking about a girl who told me one time that she counted how many times in 1 week she had an opportunity to be offended and had to decide rather to forgive or to take the offense. And she said it was 40 times
Wow.
in 1 week.
Wow. And that is probably just an average week. I mean, it may not have been anything out of the
No.
ordinary. It's just the way it is.
I don't think we
sometimes.
realize how often
Yeah.
we do have to just decide to let it go or to believe the best or to.
Yeah.
So if you soak that stuff up all the time, you're going to have a problem.
I love what you said too, that you have to decide to do it because you almost do have to just decide in the morning, whatever happens today, I will, like pre-deciding that you're going to forgive regardless of what happens.
Yeah, I wake up in the morning now and I say, like, God, give me an unoffendable heart. Like, please, because I can easily walk in offense. I'm like, what? You know, like, I'm all like, but I've really, especially these past few years, have been intentionally trying to wake up and say, God, please guard my heart so that I can be unoffendable. Like help me to let things kind of, not where I walk and be like aloof of things, but that I let things kind of roll off. And I have gotten a lot better. And I'm not where I want to be yet, but I have gotten a lot better with like forgiving and letting things go a little quicker. Honestly, because I know, especially I have a lot of, and everybody has a lot of reasons to be angry at people or be frustrated with people. But just with what I've walked through these past few years, I just like, I don't want the weight of being mad. It's heavy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's heavy.
It's not worth it.
It's not it's heavy. It's heavy to be angry all the time.
Right.
And it robs you of the present.
Yeah.
And like I feel sometimes I was feeling justified in being angry.
Sure.
And being upset and being
There's
wanting to get back.
A lot of reasons for people
Sure.
to be offended, to be justifiably angry.
Yeah.
But like you said, we can't live in that.
No, I don't want to live in it. I've literally, seriously, this past year especially, I try to wake up because other than even the fear, I wake up now with so much more gratitude because Satan really he was really warm with me with feeling like I was alone in a lot of things because I was so angry at people and so disappointed in people. I really was like, God, where were you when all this stuff was happening? Like, did you abandon me? So like that was a season, this past season has been difficult. Me and God have been really wrestling. Like, where were you? Like, how did this happen? And you let it happen. And how did you let it happen for so long? Like, and then you let me find out and then it just all went worse, once I found out. And so I was mad at God. I was really mad at God. And so honestly, like I have that fear of God, but now I have so much more gratitude towards him too, because I feel his love now. I feel like I'm grateful for him even allowing me to go through that angry season with him,
I think if we think about our offenses toward God, I mean, there's nothing that anybody has done to me or to you or to any of us that's greater than our sins and offenses
Yeah.
against God, and how merciful He is to us, and how many things we do that we don't even realize we do. You know, David prayed that God would forgive him for his unconscious faults, for even things that he didn't know about, and I pray that real often because there's no telling how many times a day. I mean, if God wanted to get mad and stay mad every time we did something wrong, He'd have to be mad at us all the time.
Yeah.
So that helps too if we think about, well, yeah, what you did was wrong, but, you know, I've done a lot worse.
I think it's really good to talk about some of the very practical things that we've all dealt with because it really helps other people. I mean, Jay was just doing that and talking about what you've been through with your divorce in this last season. And I think it gives hope to other people to think, yeah, I feel that way, or I have felt that way, but she's able to forgive. She's able to forgive. God forgives me. You know, how can I move forward? So, Erin, are there particular areas for you that you've had to really deal with this forgiveness thing?
Sure. One of them I'm going to save. I want to talk. It's my question for Joyce. So
Oh, okay.
I'm going to come back to that one. We're not leaving until it's answered. But I was thinking about this a few years ago. It was my first leadership position here. And so somebody left and I had to go through all their emails. And so I found emails about me and how I was young and didn't deserve this and all this stuff. And I thought, oh my goodness, I was already insecure. And then I had to read all this stuff that people were saying about me. I found something else on the internet about me as well as a person, as a leader. And so I remember.
That's terrible.
It was awful.
Wow.
But
And this is where it's easy to get offended for other people too, you know?
you're nice and you love me. I know.
Who was it?
But I had to fight really hard because I knew God was putting me in that position for a reason. And I could only do the best that I could do. And maybe there was truth to what they were saying. Maybe I was naive or I don't remember. I don't even remember what they said. But I had to choose to not dwell on what they said and forgive them. I never got to talk to them about it because they were gone. But I had to choose to forgive for my own freedom and to not be held back from what God was calling me to do. So that was hard because there was no closure. I didn't get to have a conversation about it. I just had to decide in my own mind, this is not who you are. This is not, you learn from this, but do your best. And
Yeah.
Don't
I
go.
like what you said, though, that if you didn't do that, that God wouldn't be able to work in your life and in this new role for you the way that you wanted him to, the way that you wanted to be used by him.
because I could see how it would have held me back. I would have held
Yeah.
myself back because of my own insecurities about what I heard or read. But there was enough stubbornness in me that I wasn't going to let that person stop what God was doing, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well, and a lot of times we have insecurities that they have to be taken care of on this level in order for us to go to this level. And I experienced that I could look back at my ministry, and each time that God has promoted me to another level, I've experienced rejection
interesting.
on the level that I was on. And I've really learned from that rejection is the biggest tool that Satan uses to try to keep us from going forward. And I mean, the last time I was leaving my position at the church and going out into this ministry that I, that we now have, but that didn't exist then.
you didn't know what it was going
on.
on.
It was like, I heard God say, go north, south, east, and west, and nobody knew me. It was a huge step of faith. I mean, I was getting judgment and criticism and accusation, everything from you're full of yourself and you're just, on and on and on. And it was so hurtful to me. And it took me a good 3 years to get over it. But I realized many years later that if that wouldn't have happened, those people that did that to me, they would have been the ones that I would have wanted to have taken with me and been on the staff of this ministry. And it would have been even more dangerous to me then than now. And so
And look how much better it turned out.
Yeah, and so now how about you guys?
Just saying.
And so, even when things are hard like that, You know, it's not God doing it. It's not even God letting something happen.
Yeah.
People make their own choices.
Right, yeah,
they make
people are
wrong
people.
choices.
Yeah.
But God is good enough to use even the bad things that people do to our benefit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Want to hear more from Joyce on this topic? We've got you covered. Visit us in the Joyce Meyer app or at joycemeyer.org today.